back to the 53rd episode of Dreams, Passion and Your Hong Kong Story. Wish you a very happy new year. Today we have with us a very talented musician from Hong Kong. Let's welcome Londiwe Ngubeni, more popularly known as Ms LoLo. Hello Lolo and welcome to our show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure, Lolo. So Ms LoLo came to Hong Kong 13 years ago from South Africa. She sang for Hong Kong Disneyland, and many of us heard her at the famous Lion King for many years in Hong Kong. A few years ago, she decided to make her entrepreneurial debut, and she launched various musical productions and has recently released her own album. Let's talk to Lolo and find out how her Hong Kong journey has been. So Lolo, tell us, how was it to grow up in South Africa? What are some of the experiences you remember that helped you shape into what you are today?
So from a very vibrant country, rather, and what we do is we enjoy spending time together. We love music. We are a very, very joyful country. So one of the things that I picked up was what we call a spirit of togetherness. It's called Ubuntu. So we learned to share, to spend time together and just enjoy time as families and friends. So that has helped me because, in Hong Kong, it's a very reserved a city. Like the culture is kind of different. Yes. So I've been able to kind of introduce that different energy in Hong Kong. I think that's how I've been able to be where I am right now.
Oh, wonderful. What actually inspired you to get into music? Did you always want to be a singer growing up?
I think because growing up in a family, like I'm from a very big family, I have four sisters, 2 brothers, obviously my mom and dad. So when we're growing up, like music has always been something that has been a part of my life. So for as long as I remember, maybe as I'm sitting here at home, they're probably singing, harmonizing. Like as I grew up, like that's all I used to hear when we wake up, when we're having our prayer sessions. Like music has always been a part of my life. And also I remember when I was growing up, like my sisters, because 3 of them are older than me, and my brother, they had like a gospel choir. And every time they go, they would put me in the front and have me sing a song. So it just became something that was second nature to me.
I see. And what brought you to Hong Kong?
Disneyland.
Disneyland?
Yes.
So were you selected by Disneyland while you were there in South Africa?
Yes. So what they normally do, I'm not sure now because of COVID. I think they do online submissions now. But what they normally used to do back in the day, they would have the creatives, all the Disney creatives from the US, from different countries, from West End. They all go to South Africa, to all actually the 3 major cities, Durban, Cape Town, and Johannesburg. They would go and scout for new talent. And every morning when they are there, the line is 500, 600 to, thousands and thousands of people that are queuing up every morning, like from 6 a.m. if we know that they're coming. So I would go there and try. I think I got in like after a few tries. It's not easy.
Wow, can you imagine?
Yeah.
So Disneyland brought you to Hong Kong.
Yes.
And then I remember going to Disneyland, and I think I heard you singing for the Lion King. So what was the process? How did you get into the Lion King thing? Were you hired from the very beginning as a Lion King singer?
Yes, because like when they audition like for different roles, obviously different body types. Like my role is more of a matured, mischievous, but also very wise woman, and you had to have a certain body structure. So they would audition for different roles, and by the time you come here, you already know exactly what role you're gonna do, so that you prepare yourself accordingly.
Wow. So tell us about your experience at Disneyland. Like, how was it there? You were there for many years, right?
Yes, I mean, I would take a few months in between for 8 years, but man, it was amazing. It was almost unbelievable. More than anything, it shaped me as a performer that I am right now. The discipline, the how to take care of your voice, like how to prepare, because we have so many things that we need to prepare for as artists. Like if I get a role that requires me to be a little bit skinnier, I have to learn how to do that, how to do that whole transition.
Wow.
If I need to get into a role that it requires me to be a little bit bigger, how do I do that without, ruining my health and all of those things. So you learn a lot of things about discipline and taking care of yourself.
Yeah. Wow, that's so exciting to hear. Now tell me, you worked for Disney for so long, and then you decided to take an entrepreneurial leap. And what was the motivation behind that?
I like being a boss.
Oh, I see. So how did the journey start?
I've always had passion for being behind the scenes.
Okay.
And for you to be behind the scenes, you need to learn the ins and outs of the actual production.
Okay.
So I needed to first learn the production first, know what goes in, and the administration, the planning, the organizing, and all of these things behind the scenes. And then afterwards be able to execute it myself.
So your album is already released?
Yes. It is out.
So tell us a little bit about your album before we go any further.
The name of the album is A Different Breed. Why did I say it's a different breed? Because even as a South African, I'm sure South Africans, when they hear my music, they're going to hear this sound for the first time. I am so excited for people to hear the sound, because it is, you can tell that, because I'm South African, I sound South African, my accent is very South African, but my sound is a mixture of everything, but it has that African base. So I'm excited to put it out there, because the album title says it itself. It's a different breed, and I think people are out to hear some different tunes there.
As I saw you performing, you mostly do a lot of Afro Beats. You do a lot of hip hop.
Yes.
And you chose to become a music entrepreneur after having worked for Disneyland in Hong Kong.
Yes.
What excited you about making this transition in Hong Kong? Did you feel that this journey would be very rewarding in Hong Kong? I mean, being a South African, you could have chosen to launch an entrepreneurial career in any other country. Why Hong Kong?
I like to be a pioneer. I like to create my own things. I like to share my own thoughts. I want people to experience my life through what I put out. And I feel like I have so much to tell. I have so much to share. Where I'm from, there is not a lot of representation of my people. So we are ethnic minorities here in Hong Kong. So I felt like it would be nice for a young kid that is growing up to see someone that looks like them, that represents them in this part of the world. And also for the Asian community to also learn a little bit more about my continent and what we are about, rather than what, you know, is being portrayed and, you know, the stereotype that is being perpetuated.
Yeah.
But for them to see my continent in a different light.
So your album that you're releasing,
Yes.
is basically, a lot of it has Afro beats.
Yes.
It also has hip hop. How do you think it's going to succeed in a market like Hong Kong, where Canto pop is so popular? What are some of the strategies that you plan to deploy?
First of all, I think Afrobeats now has become one of the biggest genres in the world, even here in Hong Kong. Surprisingly, when I first went for one, I was invited, actually I was not even performing on this party. It was an Afrobeat party, it was at Lama. This was before COVID. I realized that actually a lot of Hong Kong youth is very much familiar with Afrobeats. It's just that they only see it on social media. So for me, I saw that gap at that time, but at the same time, I realized that yes, Cantopop is big, but my sound is different. But it's totally different. It's a fusion. If you listen to American music, you get a feel of that. If you listen to African music, you get a feel of that. So it brings just a little bit of pizza or a stir fried into this genre. But, you know, Cantopop, don't get me wrong, I love it. And I mean, we all dance to it. But Afrobeats, it also, you know, it has that thing that when you are sitting down and it comes in, dun, 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 you cannot not move.
Yes.
So it brings just a different vibe that just makes your body want to move.
About what you thought of Hong Kong. Did you see the potential of your business growing in a place like Hong Kong because you felt Hong Kong can give that opportunity to a young budding entrepreneur like you?
Yes, I mean, Hong Kong is a business hub. What I learned about Hong Kong is it's a fair city. If you have something, if you have a product to bring here and you associate yourself with the right networks, it is very easy to bloom because everybody's here for business, everybody is hungry for business, and everybody has the same mentality here to work and create something. And there's no other place to do it than Hong Kong. Everybody here, you find somebody from UK. I mean, I met someone like just last week that I still cannot pronounce the city where they're from. Okay. I'm even shy to say it. But you know what I mean? Like, you get exposed to so many cities and cultures. So if you make it here, if somebody meets you here in Hong Kong and they have a business opportunity in Italy, you could find yourself in Italy the next day. Like, for example, when I was doing Disneyland, I would be able to travel and go to different countries because this is a hub, a business hub. If you are here for business, it's an entrepreneurial city. So Hong Kong.
What role has Hong Kong played in your personal life?
Oh my God, hardworking. Hardworking. People work hard here. People, when they walk here, they walk with purpose. You don't just see someone walking like they're just wandering and they don't know where they're going. People here work with purpose. So it has taught me to not be lazy, to always be on the move. You don't complain. Obviously, you make time to go out and do things, but everybody here is here to work. People here are business oriented. People here are inspired, motivated to create things of themselves. Young kids here, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning, they are out learning. What excuse do you have to sit at home?
So Lolo, coming back to your Hong Kong story, if you were to relocate from Hong Kong, where would you like to go and why?
Oh, it's been, I don't know, I love Hong Kong too much. For me, this place, you have so much freedom. You have so much freedom. There is, more than anything, it's safe. It is a very safe city. As a woman and in the industry that I'm in, you need to be in a place where you know that if you finish your gig at 2 a.m. in the morning and you're going out to get your Uber or your driver is picking you outside, you're not afraid that somebody is going to come and do something sinister to you. So more than anything, it's the freedom, it's the peace, it's being allowed to live to your fullest potential.
So you wouldn't want to move out of Hong Kong?
I don't think I would want to move out, but I would definitely be traveling and performing in different parts of the world. Okay. But Hong Kong is always going to be my base.
Okay, now we come to a rapid fire question round. Are you ready for that?
Okay.
Last time you did something for the first time in Hong Kong?
I ate on the boat, the floating boat, and it was amazing.
Interesting. And your favorite dining spot in Hong Kong?
I like Woolloomooloo.
I
like because most of them have really cool views.
Yes.
And
that's a steakhouse.
It is a
yeah, you love steaks?
I love steaks. I love steak, yeah. So, I mean, a Sunday lunch at Woolloomooloo is fun.
Okay, if you were not a musician, what would you be?
I used to think I would have been an accountant, but I know that I was lying to myself.
Your hobby?
I have a few.
Your favorite one?
Swimming.
Okay.
I love water.
Your most favorite performance that you can remember?
Just my recent album launch.
What are you most proud of as a Hong Konger?
Okay, so I think for me, it's really how everybody respects the law here, respects the rules. If everybody's asked to put on a mask, they put on the mask. It's just how everything is so organized in Hong Kong. I love how everything is just where it's supposed to be.
So what would you tell the global entertainment leaders? Why should they engage with a city like Hong Kong?
Hong Kong is, a window to China too. If you come here, you also exposed to more opportunities. You could also get yourself established not only here in Hong Kong. China has a very big market, and if you're coming with my genre, Afro Beats, something that is new, here you have an opportunity to a very big market here, not only in Hong Kong but Asia altogether.
Thank you so much, Ms LoLo, for coming to our show, and we wish you all the very best in all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much for having me.